Hello, everybody, and welcome to Empowered Conversations. So excited today. I have a returning guest, actually. Today, her name is Nicole Fevrier-Davis, and she's a mind-body psychic. I have spoken with her right before the holidays, and I actually had her on the podcast. She was probably like the second or third guest, I believe. But anyway, she's back. I'm so excited to have her. She's here to talk about this webinar that we're going to get into. And so I'll just tell you a little bit about her just in case you weren't a part of the previous podcast. She's a mind-body psychic. She is a unique fitness professional, as she's not only certified by the National Academy of Sports Medicine, among so many others, as a personal trainer, but she's also a psychic behavioral specialist, metabolic technician, and a Reiki Master. She has spent over 30 years developing this unique combination of skills to bring better mental, spiritual, physical health, the total conglomeration, to all of her clients and students. She's also got an online course, but we'll talk about that in a little bit. So Nicole is adeptly and professionally combines the science of wellness with the language of our own unique souls to attain the successful outcomes that we're all looking for. So everybody, help me in welcoming Nicole Fevrier-Davis, our mind-body psychic.
Hey, hello. How are you? It's so good to see you.
How are you doing? You're doing good?
Very good. Very good. This has been like a banner week so far.
Oh, I know. My gosh, the whole waxing quarter moon energy, full moon's tomorrow. It's been a very, very exciting, productive week.
I was wondering about that. Because I haven't been able to sleep. It's been like manic, every night, just like wide awake and talking to my angels and listening and what's going on. But okay, that explains a lot.
Yeah, I know. I've been, like hyped up and, like experiencing just some ups and downs and imposter syndrome at times, like what the hell is going on, but just stay in the course.
Yeah,
so,
definitely.
So I'm so happy to have you back again. And, just to refresh our memories, I just, talk a little bit about your background and what led you, into this line of work and led you to, doing what you do for everyone.
Sure. So many years ago, when I was a kid, my parents knew and I knew that I was psychic, and we had a way of communicating between each other too, that we didn't use words or anything like that. We all kind of knew that. But as I got older, I started to kind of see things in people's bodies, because my career started, or I had a different life in art, and I always drew nudes, and I would see things pop up in their bodies, and I was like, oh my God, is that a kidney? And what am I looking at? Different things like that. And I became
a kidney. Like you would perceive an issue in someone's body that they maybe weren't even aware of.
Yeah, well, at first it was just like identifying different internal organs and where they rested in the body and within the body cavity, within the rib cage or the hips or wherever. And then it got to be really rather intense, because I started learning about anatomy in a different way when I became a Reiki Master in 1990. And then it got even more intense when I had been a group fitness instructor and had many certifications by that time. So I think what was going on was like, Holy Spirit was like, okay, this is the body of information you're going to need, because you need to know what you're looking at, So then it wasn't until many years later, though, because I had a whole different career in television and film, wardrobe styling, believe it or not. And it wasn't the kind of thing in the 80s and 90s that you shared with the talent. Oh yeah, I'm psychic. It was just not like cool. Right. So
people fear what they don't understand.
Right. And at that time, I think there's much more acceptance of this thought now, but back then it wasn't that way. But as I got older and I wanted to start a family, I started to really write down what I was looking at and kind of analyzing it. Like, what is this? You know, how do I describe to someone what I'm actually seeing, and how did I get there? So there was a couple of years of a process. I kept giving psychic readings and healings while I was raising my boys, and I finally, you know, got to the point where the boys were much more stable and secure, and they were, you know, vocalizing things they wanted or didn't want. They were a little more independent, in other words, and I felt comfortable going out and then doing, you know, getting the certifications for personal training and doing more personal training, because those are the messages I was getting from the other side, that you can help people on a different level. It's nothing that you can like learn in a school. So you have to do this on your own. Right. So that turned into regular readings, not just of my Reiki clients, but of my personal training clients, and discovering that the things that were blocking them from perfect health, from great fitness levels, endurance levels, and weight loss weren't being addressed by all the science and, you know, theory and philosophy about behavior and metabolism and what was going on. And none of that was really addressing it. So I started implementing different protocols in order to really tap into the power of the mind. I was one of the very first, or I think I'm the first and only on the East Coast weight loss center that utilized neurofeedback initially. And but I found that actually that wasn't as effective as the meditations I was creating for people, because it addressed them directly, not just like how your brain waves, but your own memories, your own emotions. So that's how I came to this point where, wow, this is just like mind blowing that no one is getting this, not even physicians. You know, they are not built and they're not educated to put together what your soul and what your mind and emotions are doing, or the impact it has on your brain or your metabolism. So I started I started linking those emotions and those memories up with specific triggers in the limbic brain or the amygdala, and how that was acting out in the body. Once we addressed those triggers, emotional triggers, then everything else fell into alignment. And it was just, you know, it was really, I can't describe to you how exciting it was to watch people naturally crave great foods, love movement, you know, like it was just an eye opener. It was just this huge aha moment that I realized I'd been watching people in my family, myself, you know, trying to lose weight, trying to get fit, instead of just really loving that process, you know, and freeing yourself up. So I hope, did I answer your question? Did that do it effectively?
Yeah, absolutely. Because you're explaining the mind body connection, which I feel is most important, even for those that you know could possibly be watching who experience a disconnect when it comes to what do you mean, you know, because so much of how we're thinking that's creating the emotions, it has such an impact on our body. You know, whether it's positive or negative, you know, your body doesn't understand the difference. But I mean, you know, just for instance, my own personal experience of going, you know, through something traumatic, like where, you know, figuratively, literally speaking, you could say that I was stabbed in the back. And ironically, several months later, as I was in the process of healing from that emotional trauma that had somehow infiltrated the subconscious mind, I literally developed in the left-hand side, it felt like a literal stabbing. And I instinctively and intuitively, I knew that was my body healing that emotional trauma, but it was leaving my body in a physical manifestation type of way. And it took several months, and it's greatly subsided. And, you know, and just in talking with you last year, and I was telling you about some of the gut issues that I was having, and you know, talked a couple of times, you know, outside of the conversation on here about that, and it has subsided. But then there's also other things that have shifted, you know, in the world. that I feel like that maybe I was carrying a weight, that now there is that weight, and you don't even realize it. It's just kind of like, it just,
Well, yeah, well, we are all multi-dimensional beings, and I always get kind of annoyed when we hear that term or we say that term because it seems so used, but it is a reality, it is a fact. So as you heal one level of who you are, another level may pop up. When I was doing these intensive meditations at the beginning of last year, I didn't realize that I actually had a past life that I didn't get my inheritance.
Oh.
And I was impregnated and I was made to feel shameful about it. Because someone had taken me kind of like as a concubine kind of thing. But this was something that I didn't realize was actually preventing me from doing things like this, from being on television. That's just one other announcement I have to make. I'm going to be on The Doctors tomorrow, everyone, if you want to go watch
tomorrow. So it's tomorrow.
It's tomorrow. Yeah. So, that just being able to know what those subconscious blocks were and then address them effectively, I think was a huge help in getting me to where I am today, because now it's not just The Doctors and your beautiful podcast, but it's also, I'm doing radio for the next 4 weeks. I'm going to be a guest on a radio show and giving live readings on there. So all of these things kind of like started to I don't want to say gel, but like all the blocks, all those subconscious things started to kind of just like disintegrate and fall away. And what came forward was, what you do every day. And I love watching you on your treadmill or your elliptical in the morning.
not every doggone day, but like at least I try to, like, once per week, I don't want people to get tired of me.
No, but it's great because
I
love how you reaffirm, I am dedicated to this thought.
Oh,
I am
dedicated. Oh, no, I'm on the elliptical every day, but I'm not necessarily live.
No. I get it. But I love that you reaffirm that. And I think it's worth bearing in mind that that's important, just as important as getting rid of the subconscious blocks, because and I know there are plenty of people, and I talked about this on my own podcast, there are plenty of people out there who would love to see us fail. Bottom line, right?
Yes, absolutely.
Who would love to know that we didn't actually succeed in what we wanted to do. Right. And it's unfortunate they exist, but that's why we supplant that thought and empower the thought of what we know we're capable of. And honestly, no one knows what we're capable of, honestly, because I've seen people like yourself miraculously heal, drop 10 pounds in 3 weeks. I've seen people turn their entire lives around with the power of this mind-body connection. And it's a beautiful, really striking moment when their faces, you can almost see the vitality of their own personality and their soul come back into their face. One woman said, I couldn't recognize myself anymore. And then we started working together like this. And then she was like, I had no clue I had the power to do this. I thought she was depressed, highly depressed. Right. And she had been losing hair, she had issues with weight gain. She had issues with, her face sagging and wrinkles. And she, at the end of 4 weeks of working with me, this is why I'm doing Be a Body Psychic on a webinar. Yes. She looked completely different. And she looked younger, and she looked more like she would have, if she were in her 20s and she was in her 40s, So it's just very powerful work. And I'm so thrilled I can be bringing it to people.
To that point, I just wanted to add a quick story, a personal story of someone I recently met. She was actually an Airbnb guest. She was absolutely outstanding. And she basically, she left the corporate world. And she was miserable. She hated her job. And I remember her telling me, and this was like, 3 or 4 months ago, she decided, because she's an Akashic reader.
Records. Yep.
Akashic Records reader. But basically she had told me that she didn't even realize it, but she decides one day, screw this, I'm out, I'm done. There's some calling. So she literally left her job. And within like 4 or 5 weeks, she had dropped 30 pounds. And she wasn't even trying. She did nothing different with her exercise habits, nothing at all different with her eating, but it was the emotional and mental stress and that dread that she felt every day going into that job that she hated. Now, not everybody hates their job. She hated hers. And people were like, and she didn't even really realize, but people were like, oh my God, what are you doing? Where are you working out? Are you eating? And she's like, I have done nothing different. But her body, it was again the emotional weight enabled her to drop physical weight. And so to your point, like everything that you're saying is your time. It's like we don't even realize a lot, even in our everyday, how our emotional state, even on a subconscious level, is creating like this extra, all these physical body ailments that make us uncomfortable. And like I've been doing the subliminal reprogramming. I mean, something hit me years ago doing subliminal reprogramming, watching subliminal audios and videos and listening, and then talking with you. And it's like, that's your everyday. That's what you work with. And you see your clients just have these transformations, physical, emotional. So I wanted to talk. I'm sorry, I don't mean to cut you off, but I wanted because I wanted to talk about the whole doctors thing and you being on the doctors. Like that's so damn exciting, And so, but yeah, go ahead. I cut you off.
No, that's okay. And it's it's not just a job. People who are stuck in really difficult relationships, the same thing will happen there too. They get out of the relationship and all of a sudden they lose 20 pounds and they're like, I did nothing, like this was just the emotional, but that's how the brain works. So when you work in a place, or when you're in a relationship that you're continually excessively depressed, fearful, angry, you're starting to really kick up all those brain chemicals that influence the metabolism and increase insulin levels and increase fat content and increase your heart rate. And it does produce that effect. And it's just remarkable that, a lot of people assume that their weight issues are separate from those types of events in their lives, but they're not.
Or cut my calories.
Right. So for instance, like what I end up talking about on the doctors tomorrow is about relationships. It's a way to strengthen your body and your mind at the same time so that you are a clear communicator. You feel comfortable communicating. You feel understood and supported and strong in that union. And that's very difficult for a lot of people to recognize that, when you are working out, you're expressing a need and a desire and a purposeful intention to strengthen a part of your life. That's exactly what you're doing. And by peeling away layers of additional visceral fat, you're saying, you know what? I'm ready to work with this now. I wasn't then. I'm ready to work with this now because I've come to a different place of empowerment, not from a place of like, oh my God, I got to get my blood pressure down. I have to lose 10 pounds so I don't get congestive heart failure, or diabetes or anything like that. It comes from a different place of, I can do this, and that's where I want to get people. Years and years and years ago, I had an opportunity to give Reiki in a hospital.
Yeah.
I even created a Care for the Caregivers Day. And I remember talking to one of my clients who actually ran a holistic department and an oncology department within a hospital. And she said, Nicole, you don't want to work here. And I think she was right. I want to work with the people that, I can influence before they get cancer, before they're obese, before that, and I'm still working with people who are obese, but I want to work with the people before they get diabetes from obesity. I want to work with them before they have heart failure.
Yes.
So I appreciated that input and that feedback, and I'm so happy I ended up where I am now. But yeah, the doctor's segment is all about relationship. It's only 2.5 minutes, but honest, it's like a very powerful 2.5 minutes.
Girl, that's
So
2.5 years, 2.5 minutes of fabulousness. So now tell everybody, Camille says, hello, my friend. Hey, Camille, what's going on?
hi, Camille.
So, yes, she says. Oh, I love the doggy. Hey, doggy dog. Now, so the doctors, because I don't have like DirecTV or some form. I mean, everything I do is stream, and I know that I do have access to live. So tell everybody how it is that they can act. I mean, is it going to be like the doctor that's scheduled tomorrow? You're going to be on that, and how?
Yes. So the best way I can describe it to you is I'm going to post this into the comments.
Awesome.
You can. Ooh, can I post? Oh, I can't post it into the comments.
You know what?
Because you can go directly to the doctor's website, and they will have a listing. It'll say stations where we air, and it'll have a drop-down list. You know, you could start in the United States, or you can start in Australia, I think. I mean, it's all over the place. But let me see if I can. Oh, I could put it in the private chat. I'll send it to you, Stephanie. I sent it to you, so maybe you can put it in the public chat. Ooh. Super excited. It's going to be so much fun. Yay! Yes. Yes, it will. Yay. Woo. I'm not sure what happened to Stephanie. I hope she comes right back. But in the meantime, I'll tell you a little bit about a webinar I'm doing that does exactly what I do, by finding subconscious blocks in your body, addressing them, effectively making them less and less of a focus through something I developed called Superconscious Conversations, and then re-empowering your mind and body with a new, more effective way of seeing yourself successful. So that being said, if you out there are interested in checking out my Be a Body Psychic webinar, you can always text body-mind to 33777, and you will get the body scan visualization that I do with all of my clients to find out where they are emotionally, where they're blocking, where they're flowing nicely. Ooh, sorry, Stephanie, I'm calling you right back, hon. Sorry, I don't know what happened there. Whew. Uh-oh. At any rate, let's see. I don't know what happened. You missed a call. Oh, here we go. She's on here.
I'm back. Okay, all right. So hold on. Now, I'm like, oop, I don't know what. I have no idea what happened. All right. So am I here? Can you hear me?
Camille, can you still hear both of us?
That's hilarious. Technical difficulties.
That was too funny. I was like, where did she go?
Hear you, and it says that we're live 23:55. So I'm assuming like I can hear you, you can hear me.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. All right, so let's just continue. So you were talking about how you got on. Oh, how we can watch you tomorrow on the doctors.
Yes, I sent you in the private chat a link to the doctor's website where you can look up. You could post it for me.
Okay. Yes.
The days and time, or the times and the areas that you can view it. Okay. And it is a national program, so I'm thinking that you shouldn't have a problem. I have friends in New Jersey, Virginia, New York, Connecticut, Rhode Island, and Boston and Vermont. So I know they're all looking it up there.
Cool.
But the other thing I was just talking about, Stephanie, was the Be a Body Psychic webinar.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah, we got to talk about that.
Yes, and I have a free offer for your listeners that I would love if you could take advantage of, because I am, someone said to me the other day, they're like, wow, kudos to you for the perseverance and going after this. And I said, honestly, if I didn't really believe deep in my soul that this was my purpose, was to bring this new level of understanding and how to work with the mind and body, I don't think I would have stuck it out this long. You know what I mean?
Right.
But the way that the workshop works, the webinar works, is it's 4 weeks. And in that 4 weeks, we go through a process of discovery. Then we handle subconscious blocks. Then we reaffirm what we do want. And we try to take care of as many of those subconscious blocks as we can during the 4-week period. And then we go through something called the aligning flow, which is just making sure that everything you do want to create is still in alignment with who you are and your soul and how it relates to the universe. Does that make sense?
And your core values. I love it. Yes.
Yeah. So, and it goes even deeper than core values. It's like literally the energy that makes up your soul and how that helps you be who you need to be in this lifetime, to be healthy, to be happy, to find your soul purpose or your soul mate. So I just gave a little bit of a freebie away, which is the first visualization called the body scan. It's my body scan, and I have never heard another body scan like my body scan. In my body scan, you will actually experience and see things in your own body as you're doing the visualization. Then I want you to write everything down. And if you can, join me on Friday the 29th, this Friday at 12 noon Eastern time, for a little more in-depth conversation about Be a Body Psychic and what's involved in it, how you can benefit from it, how you can create the life of your dreams while increasing intuition, psychic ability, meditation. These are all things that are what I have experienced are integral in truly happy people. And so anyway, you can text, if you want to add this in there, body-mind.
Okay. So what I would prefer, body, because sometimes when I'm posting comments in here, they don't show up. So send me these links and I will, and do this like ASAP when we get off, and I will post them under, because the 3 places in which I stream. We're on YouTube, we're in my private Facebook group, and my personal page. So these links will be posted immediately. This is what I always recommend anybody, because I'm not able to, when I post comments, they don't show up.
That's so weird. I've never had that problem.
Yes, especially all 3 places. So if you do that, send it to me via Messenger, and then I will physically post them in comment under each place that I've streamed. Do you just stream to one place, or do you stream to multiple platforms when you're doing?
3 places: my YouTube channel, Positive Impact Magazine, as well as my own Facebook page, Mind Body Mastery. But if you do text body-mind to 33777, you will be directed, you'll get an email actually back that directs you to the page where you can download my free body scan visualization. And then and I know you will, everyone does, if you see things in your body, join us on the 29th at 12 o'clock, and I'll help you interpret some of those symbols and explain to you how they're going to help you attain your life goals. It's a really powerful program that I kind of took for granted for many years. And honestly, I taught it at so many health clubs and destination spas that, like I said, miracles are happening left and right. And I'm like, oh yeah, that's my life, but then we took that course together, and I was like, wait a minute.
Yeah.
I bet you I could do this online now, because, and it was,
everything is. is
It was a
virtual learning.
revelation for me because so
Mhm.
many people were like, I'd love to take it again. That's how good it is. I've never, ever had
Love
anyone say
this.
yes. Never, ever, ever has anyone said, wow, this was such a freaking waste of time.
Hey,
That has
listen,
never
so text, and this is via your phone. So you're texting
Yep.
mind dash body or mind body dash?
No, body dash mind
Okay.
to 33777 text. So this is just like one of the comments that, and I have a whole folder full of feedback. Nicole was excellent. It was a fabulous workshop. Definitely will be back. She has a gift. There was another one here that said, my experience with Nicole was phenomenal. I had my doubts going in, but I am now a true believer. So, I mean, these are pretty intense comments. I've had also emails from people, not only did I realize my life purpose, but I realized that not having my life purpose affected my thyroid and my thymus, which freaking phenomenal,
Having to
right?
do with the throat chakra, speaking your truth, being your truth, living your truth. And so I did just write that, but what happens is it goes to YouTube. Now, because we're live on YouTube, it's just like Instagram. After the live ends, you can no longer see anyone's comments.
Oh, that stinks.
Yeah, but
That
that's
is not
okay.
cool.
That's okay. Crisis averted. She's going to send me everything, and I'm going to post it as separate comments after the live video has ended. So
Stephanie,
don't
you should
worry.
join us. Join us on Friday too.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I plan to. Oh, I definitely plan to. Yeah. Like tomorrow, Siobhan and I will do our second episode of Deep Rick-and-licious and Spark Up Kitchen. But Friday, I am free, other than
Good.
hanging out with some friends in the evening. So
No,
yeah.
that's awesome. And I will send you this is all via Zoom, obviously. Like I
Yeah.
can't
Yes.
do,
Yes. Yes.
10, 15, 30 people in a one-on-one scenario. So I'm trying to hit as many people as I can and explain the process as clearly as I can in a Zoom
Guys,
call.
this sounds awesome. Y'all have got to join. Y'all, this
Yeah.
sounds real. I mean, what do you got to lose?
Well, and this is the thing. And this is what I said in another podcast. I said, I've had bad hair days, so you put your baseball cap on, you
Yeah.
want to crawl under a rug kind of thing. But the freaking, fact of the matter is COVID makes us all feel like every day is a bad hair day, right? At the
Yeah.
end of this day, at the end of the COVID moment, which is just a brief gap in time, what do you want to come out of this time with? We all have time on our hands now. We're not commuting, or most of us aren't commuting. We're working from home. Let's take some of those precious hours of our week. And I'm not talking a dozen hours. I'm talking a couple of hours out of our week to learn something new about ourselves, develop a new skill that can help empower us in any goal in our lives, right? Why waste this precious opportunity? Let's get going. Let's start creating what we really want,
I mean, yeah. And again, and I feel, and I've seen in my own life, and talking with people like yourself, is that 2020 and the COVID, the pandemic, was a time to kind of step back, relax, reevaluate, go within, figure out what what's really important.
Right.
Absolutely.
And it's, I don't know that in my lifetime, maybe, and maybe not in your lifetime, unless you have fallen ill and you have to take a leave of absence for several months. I don't know that there's ever going to be another time like this in our lives, an opportunity where we can explore things like this and really nail down not just who we are and what we want in our lives, but how to get it and raise our own vibration to the point where we bring joy everywhere we go.
Yep.
I walk, it's funny, I used to go dancing alone a few years ago. And, the bars would be lined with what are they called? The biker guys and, the Cribs and the Bloods and, all these gangs. And I'd walk in and they'd be like huddled together and they'd look at me for some reason, step back and wave and like, hi, like they'd be open and kind because I'm channeling this every single freaking day. I channel the love that I
Mm-hmm.
can to each and every person I come in contact with. And you
Mm-hmm.
can too. I mean, there's no reason why we can't live in a more loving, conscious environment, So that's a part of the bigger goal. I want everyone to experience.
Yeah, and you've seen the saying, the world is responding. It's not reacting, or should I say, it's not. It's responding to you, and I'm aware of this quite often, because if I'm in a bad mood, or I'm irritated, or I'm angry about something, or maybe I was just arguing with somebody, and I go into, like, say, purchase something, let's just say a grocery store or whatever, I will notice if I'm not focusing on how it is, or if I've shifted my mindset or shifted my attitude, it's amazing what will transpire with, as an interaction with someone else, that will be like, oh, and then I'll be, you know what, Stephanie, how are you being right now? Are you shut off? Are you closed? Are you permeating that negative attitude? Did you bring that into the stove?
Yeah. Yeah.
It's so
And
freaking true.
even when I was, just kind of learning about meditation, and I was at an ashram daily. I also was going to school in Manhattan, and there was a time, I was really focused on, I needed to create wealth. I was paying for school by myself. I needed to create wealth. And there was a time in my life, no joke, that everywhere I went, I found gold somewhere, and no one around me. I stayed in a hotel. I found a thick gold necklace. I asked the hotel manager, "Can you give this back to the?" He's like, I can't even tell you who that was. I would walk along in the flower district in Chelsea from FIT, and I'd be walking along, smelling the beautiful flowers, and I'd look down. Oh, there's a solid gold bracelet on the ground, thick. You know, Earrings I found, you name it, like a small gold coin. I found gold everywhere. It was a really bizarre time now that I think of it. But it was like one of those moments that you see your will, your vibration in action, which I think is incredible, and I'm finding that more and more. And I feel it now. I feel it very deeply, that if I focus on something, it manifests
Oh
now.
yeah, you get what you focus on.
But it's the kind of thing that it does take a certain objective practice. And sometimes we're not able to get there because we're so emotional about it. We have our own ideas about how it will happen, or, the way it should happen, or who it's going to come through. And we have to kind of release that. I know it's hard, but this process does help that manifestation part of it.
Right.
So I'm excited.
Yes. Well, I'm excited for you, especially for tomorrow. And I will be on Friday. And again, please, ASAP, when we get off here, email me those links, or messenger, and I will post it before I leave, because I'm going to the gym after this. and I want to get it done immediately instead of tomorrow.
I envy you.
Are
you wearing a mask at the gym? I envy you. I miss going to a gym.
At one gym I go to, so I go to two. At one gym, we have to wear it inside.
Okay.
And then while we're working out, we don't. And then when we leave, we wear it. But then the other gym I go to, when I do my cardio, yes, you're supposed to be wearing your mask.
Okay.
And,
Okay. That's the only thing that concerns me, is I have a hard time. Like, I literally feel a little faint at different times if I've tried it here in my home studio, and it's sometimes not ideal. I get lightheaded.
Right. Well, there's a will, there's a way. I'm determined, because
and I think
and I will, like, kind of, if I feel like I'm overwhelmed. But again, the mind over matter, and I'm just like, I don't like doing cardio at the one gym where I get more energy doing my strength training, because I don't like the cardio machine. So I go to this other place, and and that's where you have to wear your mask. But I'm just like, I focus, or maybe I'll do a live and be silly and I just forget all about it. But then I do pull my mask down. So
see, I right now, all my clients are online, and I'm grateful for that. But you know what it's like. You go to a gym, you get inspired. Everyone's on the same page you are. You want to, Yeah.
Right.
So
I mean, I missed that when during the pandemic when all the gyms were shut down and I was at home and I was still dedicated to my physical fitness. So I did stuff, like watching the Pop Sugar on YouTube
yeah,
every day. But when
exactly.
it's that camaraderie, it's the people, it's the interaction that I get, because I'm constantly teasing and carrying on and laughing and joking with
Yes.
people that I've been seeing since 2005,
Yeah. Yeah.
at
It's
this
fun.
particular place in which I work out. So
Yeah.
awesome. Well, all right, Nicole. It has been so phenomenally fabulous having you on my show again. And
Thank
again,
you.
guys, text, body dash mind to 33777.
777. Yep.
I've got that in the comments if you're on YouTube and you can see that, but it will go away when I end the broadcast. But again, don't worry. Crisis averted. We're going to post every way in which you're able to subscribe and follow and take part in everything that Nicole has talked about today. Watch her tomorrow on the doctors. That's going to be awesome. Holy cow.
I can't wait.
Yeah.
And then join us on Friday. You'll see. You'll do the body scan visualization. You're going to be blown away
I'm
at what you
excited
see in
about
your
that.
own
Even though I've
body.
worked with you on a couple of occasions, I'm excited for that because we didn't do anything like that the 2 times that I've worked with you outside of here, but I'm excited to like, what am I going to see? You know what I'm
Well,
saying?
this is the point,
Yeah.
Stephanie. Like, it's one thing for me to read you and tell you what's going on in your body, and I can do that. That's not a problem. A lot of people prefer that. But what's more empowering than being able to do it
Do it
yourself?
yourself.
Holy crap. You can do it
Mhm.
anytime, any day. You don't need tarot then. You don't need any cards or divinational tools. You don't need the pendulums or oracles. You can do this all just with your mind in your body. That's it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And you see how incredible you are, really.
I'm ready to experience that. I am so ready to experience that. Well,
I'm so happy.
well, all right. So hold back and I'll be right with you. I'm just going to say goodbye to everybody.
Okay.
And
Bye, everybody.
all right, guys, thank you again for joining me on another exciting episode of Empowered Conversations with my friend Nicole Fevrier-Davis. And please follow her. Links to how to get a hold of her are posted everywhere. And we will again post in the comments the link to be a part of her webinar on Friday and to watch her on the doctors tomorrow. This is going to be exciting. And stay tuned for next week when I have a really good, actually my first male guest is coming on the show next week. Holy cow, I'm excited about that. His name is MJ Daya, and we're going to have an incredible, empowering conversation. All right, guys, have a happy Wednesday. Join me tomorrow live, 3:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Siobhan and I, Spark Up Kitchen, and Deepa, Rick and Licious are coming to you live, and we're going to be making a delicious portobello mushroom veggie burger. All right, guys. See you later.